Hello, my beautiful witches. I'm Brandon Alter of The Spiritual Gaze, and this is your weekly tarot forecast for the week of Halloween. So Halloween is really built on the foundation of a Celtic festival known as Samhain, which is a festival that acknowledges this time of the year as being a time of the year when the veils between the living and the dead are the thinnest. Which is a really good thing if you want to connect with your ancestors and your loved ones, and a slightly scary thing if there are spirits that you don't want to connect with, which is why in that traditional festival there were big fires lit and things to kind of like scare away the spirits we didn't want to engage with, and the spirits we didn't want to engage with would just know that those were like essentially like scarecrows for spirits that you don't want to hang out with. And so that's where we kind of get this like, let's put a jack-o'-lantern outside of our house, like let's put a skeleton somewhere. It's like we're scaring away the spirits we don't want to engage with, and we're calling in the spirits we do want to engage with. And today, Mercury goes retrograde officially, and we know Mercury retrograde calls in our ghosts. And so you get to decide which ghosts you're going to call in and engage with, and which ghosts you're going to say, no, we're done. You're a ghost, and you're going to stay a ghost. Let me remind you that Mercury retrograde is not a punishment. It's not a bad thing. It's an opportunity to slow down. We get to redo something. We get to pick up a piece of information or a potential possible future pathway that we skipped over the first time around. And the card we're working with this week is the Three of Wands in the reversed position. And the Three of Wands is all about vision. Sometimes it's about psychic vision. Sometimes it's just about like, what is the vision for your life? And is it time to rewrite the vision of your life? You know, last week I went on a whole diatribe about death. That's not going to stop. I'm going to keep talking about death because it's Scorpio season. Because we want to make death our friend. We want to make death our ally. And so sometimes I think if we remember that our time on earth is limited, we have a lot of time, but it is limited. It's not an infinite amount of time. That can help us refine our vision of like, what are we really doing here? And are we bringing forth our unique gifts? And so you can use the energy of Mercury retrograde to help you really answer those questions. Are you doing what you came here to do? Is your vision muddy? Is it unclear? This would be a really beautiful energy, Three of Wands, to refine the vision, to get clearer, to really see it. You know, like that's why we make vision boards, is so we get really clear about what we want, because until we know what we want, the universe doesn't know what to give us. If you're unclear about what you want, the universe is like, what do I give her? I don't know. Do I give her this? Do I give her that? She doesn't know. So they don't give you anything. Or they just give you a mess. So take this week and really see if you can start to get clear on what you want and what the vision for your future is. And maybe those ghosts show up to remind you what the vision used to be. You're like, oh my God, I used to think that was an acceptable boyfriend, or that was an acceptable teacher, or that was an acceptable whomever, whatever. Notice how far you've come. The thing about death is, and I said it last week, death unsticks what is stuck in you. And so you can just think about when you had to use death to kill off a relationship, or an old dream, or an old vision, because holding on to that dream or that relationship or that vision was literally keeping you stuck. And so that's what I'm trying to encourage us all to move towards this Scorpio season, is to have that relationship with death that doesn't feel scary, but that feels like a party, that feels like a healing, that feels like a big bonfire where we get to put all of our old shit and send it up to the heavens. See what you can do this week to burn the visions that no longer serve you, to burn the confusion, to burn the visions that other people have laid upon you, and see what comes out of that smoke. See you next week, my loves.